My suspicion would have it that the actors are trying to silence this family at all cost. It would appear like what happened in Gokatunja, a weather was dragged for suspicion that he's helping to produce arm for the ASA. Right now, we have Cameroon does not send armed men to victimize any family if they don't have something to hide at all costs. So they might end up just disappearing this entire family because somebody wants to silence somebody. And Ambazonia will definitely not have such an interest. There's nothing for Ambazonia to hide before any court in the Cameroons to the extent that a family. So this should be CPDM loyalists who are concerned about certain information. That's my opinion, and I hold very strong to that opinion. Barrister Fru, Barrister Mbeseha, Dr. Lobati, this is what our people are going through. I will begin with you, Dr. Lobati, please.
Well, adding to that, there was a funeral in Muyenge, I heard, where about 15 people were killed. They had a funeral just this week, and La Republic troops went there and killed 15 people. All the military activities going on the ground are carried out by La Republique du Cameroon, armed and directed by the French, like I always say. There was a French minister who said that if any African country attempts to make their own money, they will punish them with terrorism. I want us to step back for a moment and think. A man sitting in France saying that if a country in Africa, say like Burkina Faso, wants to make their own money like they want to, they will punish them with terrorism. How do you punish a people with terrorism? Basically, they are the ones who have organized all these problems, created factions and groups that they direct and are loyal to them, armed them, and are using them to terrorize the population. Now, we are all here. We know how much we try to help our people, how much we put together to help those who have been wounded. Can you imagine that in Bamenda, for example? On a whole day, some boys would just appear at, say, Longla College and spray bullets like rainfall with, you know, bullets will be falling like rainfall and, the ice balls all day. Now go back and think about the cost of one of those bullets. Do you truly believe that the children of Ambazonia who are abroad have sufficient money to buy enough bullets and give it to some boys to go and stand, say, at Longla College and spray it all day to terrorize the population? This
No,
was
that's not.
given by La République du Cameroon.
Yeah,
It's like is the French army coaching La République government, trying to break us into small groups, buying them
yeah,
off as they did, arming
yeah,
them and using them to terrorize the population. We don't have enough money to do that kind of thing.
yeah,
Just yesterday, uh, in Bambui, that's just after the seminary, La Republic Army was standing just one spot, less than a mile. Some boys stopped vehicles that were going towards Fundong or towards Bicom land, carried everybody and ran with them to the bushes. How can La Republic Army standing, holding guns less than a mile, and some bold boys are able to come out and carry everybody in a vehicle and carry them to the bushes? They must be working with the military.
yeah,
So that's why I'm saying that you can link it directly to the French. A French guy says any country trying to do something that will threaten French interests will be poisoned with terrorism. And then a French is the general, is the ambassador of France in Yaoundé, who is a military general. And they are using La Republique and creating all these fractional groups because they say you can control them better when you break them into small pieces. So they go
yeah,
around buying off people, bribing them, arming them to go around and terrorize the population. What they discovered in Mali was that they kept claiming that there was terrorism in the Sahel. And then the French were arming some groups of people around where there were mineral resources in Mali and calling them terrorists, those people that were armed by the French. and the French were guarding them to extract the resources. Then the French were using the Malian military that they claimed they were training to fight those terrorists. And so what was happening was the Malian troops discovered that they were trying to fight some terrorists that were heavily armed, trained by the French. And then they claimed that they were themselves being trained by the French. But what is actually happening is that you find Malayans killing Malayans. You find Africans killing Africans. That is the thing that the French are carrying out. So all the spraying of bullets, all the atrocities that have been carried out in Ambazonia has been done on the guidance and the directive of the French. All the equipment, military equipment that you hear. Do you know how much what we call a sugarcane costs? How many LGAs have bought even one or two or three for their boys? They don't talk about granules. Go and find out. They say it's like 2,500. Then you spray it all day long. How many
Yeah.
of the people in the diaspora have been able to bring up that money? All of that is
Let,
done by the
let
French.
me let me even agree with you a little bit. Let's say our people, even by some means, when the boys on the ground successfully get such granules, they know that those granules are not just meant to protect the people, but to protect their lives. And they don't have a luxury to waste them. Even when they are celebrating, they give one or two up, pam pam, and they stop. So I argue again, and they are the ones promoting on the media Anglophones killing Anglophones. I argue again. If we really want to target, if our people wish to target the civilian population, we'll target the Ndongtus, the Burmese, the Bulus, the Francophones that are actually living in Ambazonia, and that some of them are they're snitches. Some of them are the ones who try to defy the laws of the government, of the Amazonian government. Some of the ones are the infiltrators, the enablers of the Franco-Cameroon hegemony. So this argument, and that's why Cameroon is not allowing an independent investigation of the actual collateral humanitarian damages on the ground. They are not willing to do that. Barrister Fru, please.
Well, I don't know what to say, but what is happening on the ground is orchestrated by La République Cameroon and the French. Look at what has just happened in Bambuko. You know Bambuko, that's a Musonges village.
Mhm.
Again, in a death celebration, they came in there and just, no, not a death celebration. They went there this morning. I just read it now as we were talking. They just went
Yeah,
there this morning, brought everybody out, and shot them point blank. Shot all the men point blank in Boya, in Mosongos village. I don't know how many they have killed. So this is a call for concern, and our military should be informed
yeah,
to devise a means of preventing these deaths. We are losing a lot of our young people to these hoodlums.
yeah.
So I mean, what can we say? The whole of Ambazonia is a war zone, and I don't know what they are reacting to. They are reacting to the death of their old man or what? I don't know. There's every indication that La Republic people have come into the realization that they don't have a president, and they think that they will leave our territory. Before leaving our territory, they should kill as many of our people as they want.
Yeah,
Because I cannot understand why people will go to a death celebration, they are burying somebody, and you open fire on everybody. So how does that make sense if it's not madness? Is that war? That's a war crime. You go,
my,
people are sleeping, 5, 4
and
a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. You go into people's homes and
yeah,
collect and ask everybody out and shoot them down. In Boya, in Musonge's village. And Musonge, where is he? Probably in Yaoundé at the lac, resting him and drinking champagne.
The fact is that they are
God
slaves.
help him.
They are,
Oh God.
they are privileged house slaves.
So it's a phenomenon. There's nothing that we can do from this end other than do tell our ASA to develop strategies, more better strategies to prevent this from happening. And they did. They did in Bamenda. When the Republic went to travelers, after travelers, and started doing Calais, before they opened their eyes, the squad from Bui arrived on motorcycles. And you will not imagine how the Republic fled into the bushes. They shot and shot and shot at each other. I don't know what the casualty situation was, but the ASA came to the rescue of those that were being taken as Calais.
This is
And they came
unfortunate,
all
but
the way from Bui.
yeah. This is quite unfortunate, Barrister Fruit. We need to summarize this now because the president is supposed to be having an important interview tomorrow, and we'll need to conclude this so that I could go coordinate and plan for that. It's on Sunday, just to see how busy we get and how busy the president will get. There's an that's going to be a one-on-one interview. I think we might stream it live tomorrow or probably the day later. But Barrister Mbeseha, you just watched the report of Star Smart there, which is, I would say, is sad.
Well,
Doctor,
I saw it. If
yeah.
we're talking about generalized insecurity, and the theme is that young pastor whom they shot and killed, it is a good takeoff. The young man, as we're told from the report, was a very good pastor. But besides being a pastor, he was also said to be the president of the credit union. Those functions that he performed put him at risk, even from the government side. If, as a good pastor to you and me, is a guy who is preaching the gospel nicely for everybody to understand the word of God. If in doing that job, he mistakenly, from the pulpit, preached something that the government did not like, for example, to say to kill people is wrong, the Bible does not authorize that. You fall into the network of the enemies of the Republic. They will eliminate you. That might have happened. I'm not sure that's what happened, but that's a possibility. The second point I've mentioned is you hear him, they say that he was a very good president of the credit union. Mr. Ansel and the rest will know Mr. Lobati. The credit union is where Yaoundé has been trying to grab for the rest of his lives. It is an unreliable financial institution, for example, in the Northwest, in Bamenda, that the government has fought to take over and they have not taken over.
To no avail.
And so if he's still there doing that job, which people are pressing him, and the government in difficulty, financial difficulties, the possibility is that they will target him just for that job. At the very best, to kill that nonsense, according to them, they call credit union. Because that's where their eyes have been looking to, and they have
Like they
failed to
killed
reach.
Cameroon Bank.
Yes. So the bank was even different. Credit union is people's money. Who put their money and exchange it. And the government is trying to grab it. It has failed so far. But that's said and done. The issue is there's generalized insecurity in the country. I've said it many times before. Who is responsible for the security of the country? Call Cameroon. That for them includes Ambazonia. This is government. It's not a gift. It's not a presidential gift. This is right because these people pay taxes. That pastor dies, like many others have died. There's no investigation anywhere. Who is supposed to investigate and bring the people to trial, to justice? The government. They have a police force. So many forces. They have the gendarmes. They have the B and everything you can call the police. They even have the vigilantes. Why are they not bringing these people to justice? It's a deliberate attempt to hide the truth. And
Yeah.
so the government is using this as a punishment for Amba. Ambazonia. Punish them as far as you are able. Let them
Uh-huh.
know that there's a price to pay for your freedom. There's a
Yeah.
price you pay for your independence. And that price includes killing your own people, killing people who will die for no crime of theirs. We have lost so many already. And the
Yeah.
death of that pastor and many others is just one too many. So I was talking about this thing from Bomboko. I saw the pictures myself. Bomboko might not even be Musonge's village, but Bomboko, that I know very well, is in Boya. It's the farthest Bakori village in Boya. It's near Monyenge. It is a Bakori village. And Musonge is a Bakori guy. The Bakwarians, as a tribe, they are not even many. To kill one is just too much. They are killing many more. You go there and you wipe out the people. Where they're from Bomboko, where they're from Bova, or from Mosonge's own village, makes no difference. The important thing is that Mosonge of all, because Mosonge, by my own description, is the greatest tribalist in the world. If Mosonge, who is so tribalistic, cannot even defend his own backward people, that he will do everything to give them power, he will do everything to cover them, then what is it worth being in that thing so-called federation? Having Mr. Mosonge transform from prime minister to senator,
Mm.
from senator to chairman of the bilingual commission, that he alone knows. His bilingualism commission was just reading a text there meant for the whole country, written in pure French. Mosonge will not raise a finger. And so there's just generalized insecurity. And that will take us to what you said in the last segment. Where people say, well, ambassadors are just pretending. I saw them on the equinox. Say, no, they obey ghost towns because they're afraid that ambassadors guys will punish them. And my own answer to that is, if the Ambazonia have that power to police every single compound in the village and cause them to obey ghost town, that must be a formidable army that you cannot defeat.
Yeah.
I agree with them. Literally, I agree with them. Ambassadors were able to enforce that ghost town by standing at every door and telling you if you go out, you die. So far, nobody went out. So it must be terrible, powerful force that can police every compound, every village, and enforce ghost town. If that's the army that Republic thinks they can defeat, they are wasting their time.